we go. We are live. All right. Hey, everybody who's here so far. We will give a couple of minutes just to give a little bit of time for anyone who needs to hop in here. So you got a little bit of time. If you need to finish up a task or fill up your coffee or your water, you've got a little bit of time. We won't take too long. Hey, Stefano, Helen. Hey, Jean. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for being here today to check out. It's a little bit of a dry subject, but it's a very important subject, obviously. It's how we get paid, right? Hi, Araceli.
Make sure to drop your questions in the chat. We'll be super happy to answer them.
Yeah. All right, we'll give, when my clock turns 2 minutes after, we'll get started. Oh, it just turned 2 minutes after. All right, let's do this. All right. I am Karen, a member of Big Cartel's support team. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I'm going to cover the checkout. Again, the checkout's pretty important since if it's not set up correctly, your customers are not going to be able to place orders in your shop and then you won't get paid. So today we are going to cover the supported payment processors along with their individual payment options. We will look at transaction fees and payment schedules. So you'll know whether or not you're being impatient if you're eagle-eyeing a payment that you're waiting for, or if you're being too patient and you need to figure out why you're not being paid. We'll also go over sales tax and error troubleshooting. We'll look at the checkout page and a few other things. Just a heads up, this class is being recorded, so if you miss something or if you just want to review info that's been covered, you'll be able to do that with a replay link that you'll be sent when we're finished. And it takes about 24 hours to generate that video and send out the link for it. Also, I've got another support team member here with me, Anna, and she will be answering questions as they get dropped in the chat window there on the right. So there's no need to hold your questions until the end. Just drop them in as they come up. All right, the checkout. First up, we support PayPal and Stripe payments. So you'll need to connect your shop to one of those two payment options or go one better and connect to both PayPal and Stripe, because the more options your customers have to pay you, the better it is for you. So we'll first take a look at Stripe, and you do need a Stripe account to connect the Stripe checkout, which makes sense. If you don't already have one, you can sign up for one when you connect your checkout. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, right now we are looking at the Get Paid section, which is accessible from the account page of the admin. And you can see here, I don't have either payment processor connected. I actually do have both connected in my test shop, but I'm going to show you a walkthrough using a slideshow so you'll know exactly what it looks like on your end when you connect your own shop's checkout. So again, we're going to look at Stripe first, just because it's listed first, not playing favorites. And you will click Connect Stripe right there under the Stripe logo. And then you're going to be redirected to this Big Cartel Stripe connection page. Really quick before I continue. Between the two payment processors, Stripe and PayPal, almost the entire world is covered. But you'll still want to check their list of supported countries to find out whether or not Stripe or PayPal or both work in your country. And Anna is going to drop links to their list of supported currencies so you can check that out on your end. Okay, continuing on. So if you already have a Stripe account, you're going to enter your Stripe email address there in the email address field, and then you'll just follow the prompts to authorize the connection of your Big Cartel shop to your Stripe account. When you're all done, your checkout's connected, you're ready to go. But if you don't have a Stripe account, you'll enter the email address that you'd like linked to your Stripe account here in the email address field. Then you'll click Submit. Next up, you're going to create the password you want for your Stripe account. And then you're going to see this two-step authentication. Now, you can either download the Google Authenticator to scan the QR code to set up your account, or if you're like me and you're tired of all the QR code scanning, you can choose to enter the code from the Authenticator app manually instead. Or you can click one of those two options below. You can use your phone and then you'll just enter your mobile number, or you can click to create a security key, which is going to be another QR code option that you'll create a passkey for on Stripe. They offer a lot of options. I went ahead and went for the mobile phone route. So after entering my phone number here, I just clicked send a text, which is what you'll do on your end as well if you choose to go this route. And then they will send you a code that you'll then enter there to verify your login. So you're also going to get an email from Stripe asking that you verify your email address, the one that you used when you signed up. So be sure to check your inbox and get your email verified as well. Okay, once you enter your verification code, or you scan the QR code, or you use the passkey, or you enter it manually, whichever way you choose to take as far as that verification route goes, you're going to see this message here letting you know that your account is secured. You're also going to see the option to download or copy an emergency backup code just in case of emergency. So like if you lose access to your Stripe account, this is how you're going to regain access to it. I did both. I downloaded it and I copied it just so I had it in two places. So when you're done there, you'll click next. And then you're going to see a prompt to select the account you'd like to connect to Big Cartel. Now, if it's a new account that's never been connected to an online shop, it's going to show as an unnamed account. That's going to be the case on your end if you're creating a brand new Stripe account. And then from there, you'll click next and you will see this information. Let's start with some basics. This is where you're going to start entering your business info, starting with the location and the type of business. Now, as with any type of account that you sign up for, you're going to want to answer this to the best of your ability in the moment. You can make changes down the road if you need, though. So if you're in the US, it should default to US. And then if you haven't registered your product line or your business name as an actual business entity, then as it states right there, your business type is going to be individual, and that's the default. So I just clicked continue and I moved on. You can make changes as needed based on your own setup, though. So next up, you will enter your personal details, which is going to be also accessible in your Stripe dashboard. So if you move or if you change your name down the road, you'll be able to update that in your Stripe account. Now, by default, if you're in the US, they are going to ask for the last four of your social security number. If you're outside the US, they are likely going to ask for some comparable form of identification that's issued by your own country's government. Just a heads up. And it might feel like they're asking for a lot of info, like your address, your date of birth, the last four of your social, but it is because they are processing payments. So they are taking on that liability. It's not like you're on your favorite recipe website and they want access to your camera roll so you can get that 5-star lasagna recipe. This is actually, there's a reason that they need this information. So after you enter your info, you're going to click continue. And then you will see your shop's URL automatically populate in this field on the business details page. So if your shop is redbarnpottery.bigcartel.com, you're going to see it there. And then you'll enter your description of your product line in the field below it. Then you'll click continue again. And here's where you're going to add your bank information to your Stripe account, because all payments for orders placed through the Stripe checkout are automatically deposited directly into your bank account, which makes it super easy to access your funds because you don't have to transfer it from one account to another. Now, once you enter your bank info, you'll click info. No, you'll click continue. There we go. And then you're going to see this option pop up to save your account with link. Now, this is for you as a buyer, not a seller. So just for example, if you're shopping online, you're ordering boots for winter, you see link pop up. This actually lets you just skip steps in the checkout flow to check out faster. So again, it's for you as a buyer, not a seller. You can save with link or you can just click not now. It's totally up to you. All right, next up is where you're going to see and edit the business info that's going to be visible to your customers. So first up, this statement descriptor, and then below that is the shortened descriptor. These will be loaded with your Big Cartel shop's URL if it's not too long. If it is, Stripe is going to shorten it. And the statement descriptor is going to be displayed on your customer's bank and credit card statements. That shortened descriptor below it is going to be added to the statement descriptor if the customer's bank displays additional info. So think about it as a Google search result. Like the website is the little tiny bold bit, and then below that, the description. That's how the descriptor, the statement and shortened descriptors are going to be displayed if the bank allows additional information. You can edit both if you'd like. So if you don't like the abbreviated version that Stripe has chosen, you can just edit those two fields. Now, further down the page, you are going to enter a customer support phone number and a customer support address. They're going to use the address that you added previously, and then you'll just add your phone number, which you can choose whether or not you want it to be public. It's totally up to you. When you're done with that, you will click continue. And then lastly, in the Stripe setup, you get to review and submit your information. So be sure to double check that all the info you've added is correct. And then you will click agree and submit. And as long as everything's in order, you're going to be redirected back to your admin, and you'll see that your shop is now connected to the Stripe checkout. You can see that here. It says disconnect Stripe. It's my only option. So that means I am connected. So it's really not a huge process. It's super straightforward. They walk you through it really well. So it shouldn't take that long, and it's very easy. And once you're connected, your customers are going to be able to place their orders with their debit or credit cards through Stripe. And Afterpay, Google Pay, and Apple Pay are also automatically enabled. So if your customer has Google Pay or Apple Pay, on their device, those will show up for them as options on the checkout page. And if your customer is in a country where Afterpay is supported, they will also see the option to use Afterpay. And if they don't have an Afterpay account, they can just sign up for one when they click to use Afterpay. You don't have to use these options, though. If you're not super interested in offering Afterpay, for example, you can just turn it off. There's additional options also in Stripe that you can turn on, like Affirm and Klarna. You'll just log into your Stripe account and you can adjust those payment method settings. And Anna is going to go ahead and drop in a help doc that explains how to adjust those payment options in Stripe. And when you're clicking around in Stripe, just be aware, not all of the payment options you see in Stripe are supported. So if you're not sure, just reach out to us in support. We'll let you know whether or not the particular payment method that you're looking at is actually doable with your Big Cartel shop. You can either email us at support@bigcartel.com, or if you're in the admin, you can just click the little speech bubble at the bottom right. You can send us a message that way, and we're always happy to help. All right, so now let's look at the PayPal checkout. So to connect the PayPal checkout, you're going to click Connect PayPal, and then you will see this pop up on the page. If you've already got a PayPal account, you're just going to enter the email address linked to your PayPal account. And then from there, just like with Stripe, you'll follow the prompts to authorize your PayPal account's connection to your Big Cartel shop, and then you're going to be done. But if you don't have a PayPal account yet, you'll just follow the prompts to sign up for one. So we'll take a look at that now. And again, when you're done with the whole sign up, you'll be connected and ready to go. So the first thing we have to do here is enter the email address that we want linked to our PayPal account in that email field, and then update the country, which should automatically default accurately by default. But if you need to change it, you can. Next, you're going to click Next. And then here you're going to start in on the sign up forms. You're going to add your name and first and last name. You're going to enter the passwords you want for your PayPal account. And then you will scroll down and click Agree and Create Account after, of course, you've read their user agreement, which we're all super good at doing, I'm sure. And then next, you're going to see this message letting you know what info PayPal is going to ask for. So you'll scroll down there and you will click Let's Go to get started. And you're going to notice that this sign up is super similar to Stripe. Because they need basically the same information. So you'll go ahead and choose what business type is yours. When you've done that, you'll scroll down and you'll click Next. And then comes the personal information, name, date of birth, and so on. And then when you're at the bottom of that page, you're going to go ahead and click Next. And then you're going to be prompted to enter your business info again, just like with Stripe. Now, one difference is that in the PayPal signup, you are going to be prompted to select the currency you do business in. Stripe is actually going to select that for you based on your bank account info that you provided. So just to be sure to choose the currency that you've selected in your Big Cartel shop, or there will be a currency conflict, which will prevent your checkout from working. So customers will not be able to place orders. So again, just make sure your PayPal currency matches your Big Cartel admin's currency, and you won't have a problem there. Another difference is that PayPal asks what your monthly sales are. But if you're just starting out, you're not going to have any clue. Just use your best guess when choosing from this dropout what your monthly sales are going to be. And I don't want to sound like a downer, but this might not be the best time to be like, shoot for the stars, 500K a month, because that's awesome. And I wish that for everyone. But maybe just go a little moderate on your monthly sales when you're choosing this. Just a suggestion. Now, when you're finished, you're going to click next at the bottom of that page. And then you're going to get this prompt that says you're almost done. You're going to click that Return to Big Cartel LLC button, and you will be redirected back to the admin. Now, you may see a yellow banner at the top indicating that your ability to accept payments through PayPal has been disabled. Don't panic. You most likely just need to head to your email account and confirm your email address. Just look in your inbox for a message from PayPal, and the subject line is going to be confirm your email to use your account. You just click into the email, click to confirm your email, log in with the password you just created, and then you get to confirm that you're a human. Because that's what we're doing now. The humans are confirming to the robots that we're the real ones. And you go back to your admin, and then you refresh the page, and then the yellow banner is going to be gone. So now you have got both Stripe and PayPal connected, and you're good to go, right? But if the banner has not gone away, you may have some other issue that's preventing the connection, like a currency conflict. If the banner doesn't go away, then head over to our help site. You're going to find 2 articles that Anna is going to drop in links for. One has a short list of troubleshooting steps for when your Stripe payments are disabled, and one has troubleshooting steps for when your PayPal payments are disabled. I would love it if this were the case, but connecting the checkout isn't the only time you might see the yellow banner, though it is easiest to resolve when it pops up during checkout. Again, since PayPal and Stripe do take care of payment processing, they also have to deal with the legal issues around payment processing. So just for example, if your Stripe account is connected, everything's going well, you're getting orders, but suddenly you see that yellow banner in your admin indicating that your Stripe payments are disabled. You're going to want to log into Stripe, and you will see a notification as to why they've disabled it. It could just be that you haven't provided some verification indicating that you are who you say you are. Or it could be that you're selling something they're not okay with. Like if you're selling edibles, which is also prohibited on our platform, you're going to get flagged. Both Stripe and PayPal do have some responsibility in what transactions go through their platform. So their system is set to flag transactions that could go against their user agreement. But for the most part, if you're not breaking the law, you're not selling drugs or like severed human toes, you're going to be fine. You're going to be able to get your payments enabled again. If your payments are still disabled, you've done everything right, you've gone through all the troubleshooting steps, and you just can't get it working again, just reach out to us as support. We can take a look. We don't have access, unfortunately, to PayPal's or Stripe's backend to like fix it, like just click a button and fix everything. But if your product was flagged and like you sell nail polishes and you named it Cannabis Green, so they flagged it, but you've changed the name, so everything's great, and they haven't enabled it yet, like we can't fix it, but we can definitely take a look just in case you miss something. And it's always good to have a second or third set of eyes. No problem. Just reach out to us. Don't hesitate. All right. So even your checkout set up correctly, you're getting orders, everything's going smoothly, you might still come across issues from time to time. Your customers might report that they're getting an error on the checkout page. More often than not, those are unfortunately out of your hands. They're out of our hands as well. But knowing what an error message means can help the customer resolve the issue so they can place that order in your shop for the super cool thing that you sell. So for example, if your customer gets an error that they need to try an alternative payment method from their PayPal wallet, that's super clear. The card they're using is probably just old or expired, or it's on a closed account that doesn't exist anymore. In those cases, they just need to update their card or add a new card to their PayPal account. No big deal. If your customer gets an error that their purchase can't be completed because there's a problem with the merchant's PayPal account, well, then that's obviously an issue with your PayPal account. But to be fair, both PayPal and Stripe are really good at communicating when there's a problem with your ability to accept payments. So we don't really see this one very often. And sellers are super keen to keep their accounts active and updated, which is smart because, they want to accept payments. So again, we don't see it very often, but still it is an error that exists in the wild that could pop up for a customer. Most errors like that are pretty cut and dry, so they don't require troubleshooting. Like there's one, this transaction can't be processed. The shipping country doesn't allow the buyer's country of residence, or this transaction can't be completed because it violates the PayPal user agreement. It's, again, super straightforward. It doesn't need troubleshooting. Every once in a while, a customer will just get the most vague, maddening, unhelpful error message when trying to place an order. It's like they might as well have just seen a huge red no flash on their screen with how little information was provided as to why it wouldn't go through. There are a lot of reasons why a bank might decline a customer's payment. And again, you won't have access to force it through. And we would love to be able to just cram through every single payment through your shop. It would be awesome. It's just not possible. So if you do have a customer reach out with some weird error message that makes no sense, you can have them clear their browser's cache just in case it's some weird caching issue. They could try a different browser altogether or a completely different device. Like maybe there's an issue with their device's wallet settings. So they could try a different device. That often works. But if that doesn't do the trick, you can have your customers reach out to their bank and have their bank look up failed verifications. Because if the bank looks up the failed verifications, they're going to see why they declined the payment in the first place. And then the customer should also be able to approve it so that the next attempt to place the order in your shop goes through successfully. The bank is definitely a good way to go because they're all about commerce and the flow of money. Like they just want to keep the money going. So they want to help. They're a good resource if customers are reporting issues with their card or whatever. And when the order does go through successfully, how you are paid depends on the checkout your customers choose to use. So all payments for orders placed through the PayPal checkout are almost immediate. Like the funds are deposited into your PayPal account balance immediately. And from there, you can transfer funds into a bank account you have linked in your PayPal account if you'd like. The only real reason you should ever see a delay in a PayPal payment is if PayPal processed a bank-funded transaction as an e-check. That can take up to 7 days to clear. Otherwise, they're almost immediate. You're going to see the funds. You're going to see the order. If you're using Stripe, though, the first few payments through the Stripe checkout can take up to 14 days to clear. And funds are deposited directly into your bank account, though. So there's not like a Stripe account balance like there is a PayPal account balance. You don't need to transfer funds from one account to another to access them. So that's super handy. After the first few payments through Stripe, though, you should not wait as long to get paid. Stripe's payout schedule varies country by country, so you can expect to be paid anywhere from 2 to 7 days from the transaction date. The only exception is Brazil. Y'all have a different payout schedule based on the payment type. So you'll want to refer to Stripe's help docs for the specifics on your own country's payout schedule there. And Anna is going to drop a link to Stripe's payout schedule in chat. Thank you so much, Anna. Since it does take a couple of days for Stripe payments to clear, it is a good idea to hold off shipping anything until you're actually paid, just to make sure that there is that equal exchange of goods and services for funds. So it's also something to keep in mind. Make sure you're paid, because that's what we're here for. And when you get an order, you are going to see all of the payment info in your Stripe account or your PayPal account, whichever the checkout customer chose to use. It's up to them. Again, based on what you choose to connect. In PayPal, you're going to see the customer name, email address, and shipping address. And you'll also see in your PayPal account what product was ordered. In Stripe, you're going to see the customer name, email address, and shipping address, but you will not see the product ordered. So you'll need to log into your Big Cartel admin to see which product your customer ordered, or you can refer to the order notification emails we send unless you've disabled them in your admin. So you may want to check your account page for that. It's super handy being able to just go through emails to see that information if you need. It's just another place for that information to live. So if you've disabled it, I would highly recommend that you enable those notifications again. Now, you're also going to see a breakdown of the order total, which will include the transaction fee. And the transaction fee is PayPal's or Stripe's fee, depending on which checkout the customer chose to go through when placing their order. Both PayPal's and Stripe's transaction fees are similar. Anna is going to drop more links, so many links in chat today. We're giving you so much good information to both so that you can take a look. So if you are looking at your admin's order section and you see like a discrepancy between the order total and what you were actually paid, that's going to be the transaction fee. Just so you know, don't panic. It is PayPal and Stripe's cut for doing the hard work and making those payment processing transactions for you. Tax. If you are in the US, if you are using US dollars as your shop's currency, then you are also going to see sales tax in your order breakdown on any order that's shipped to a customer with a US or a Puerto Rico address. That's automatic. You don't have to do anything on your end for sales tax to be calculated and added. As a marketplace facilitator, Big Cartel calculates and collects sales tax on all applicable orders, and then we remit that to the appropriate state. So if you are in the US, sometimes you're going to see sales tax remitted to your own state, but that's not always the case. If your customer's in your state, then sales tax is going to be remitted to your state. But if your customer is located out of state, then sales tax is going to be remitted to whichever state they live in, unless they are in one of the 5 states that doesn't have sales tax. They're not going to get taxed. But if you as the seller are located in one of the states that doesn't have sales tax, your customers are still going to get taxed. If they live in a state, I can't help laughing at how ridiculous sales tax is in the US because it's so convoluted. But if your customers are located in a state that has sales tax, they'll get taxed even if you're in a state that doesn't have sales tax. Just to keep that in mind. So again, sales tax is going to be calculated based on the customer's address, not your address as the seller, and the customer pays sales tax, not you as a seller. So that's one thing at least you don't have to worry about. You're not the one paying sales tax. And it's labeled differently in Stripe and PayPal. So in PayPal, it's labeled as a partner commission, though it's not, we don't keep it. In Stripe, it's called an application fee. Again, we don't keep it. It's sales tax. It's not a fee we keep. It all goes to the man. So for those sellers outside the US, you have the option to set up sales tax rates for each country that you want to offer shipping to, that you're also responsible for remitting sales tax to those countries' tax authorities. Now, you're going to be responsible for remitting that sales tax, which is just another word for saying paying. You're going to be responsible for paying that sales tax that you have collected to the appropriate tax authority. We only take care of it in the US because we're required to. If you don't have like a local accountant, you may want to find one just to make sure you got your bases covered as far as sales tax goes. All right, so the checkout is set up. The payments are enabled. You've got the greatest products on planet Earth to sell. Just one last thing, and it's not a requirement. It's just a really good idea. Check out the checkout. Run some tests so you can see what it looks like, so you know what your customers will see once they head to your shop and start placing orders. I'm going to go over to my test shop now, and we will take a look. There we go. There we go. So I am here in my test shop's checkout. I am buying a sweatshirt right here. You can see my product's name, the size I chose. You can see an image of the product as well as the price over here on the right. Below that, there are 2 fields here for customers to use. They can leave a note for the seller if they'd like. And if they've got a discount code, this is where they're going to enter it right here. Now, below that, you're going to see the order breakdown. You'll notice that tax and shipping haven't been added yet. Again, that's calculated based on the customer's address. So it's not going to be added until the customer adds their shipping address to the checkout page. So over here on the left, we can see all of the checkout page fields. So I'll just start completing the checkout right now so we can see how that looks. And I'm going to subscribe to my own email list. There we go. We'll just add a random PO box in Los Angeles using a zip code everyone knows. There it is. We'll click next. And now we can see my payment options are now displaying. I have both Stripe and PayPal connected, and I can see both options here. So this is what my customers would see if they were in my test shop. If you only have Stripe connected, your customers are only going to see Stripe's options. But if you only have your PayPal connected, then customers are only going to see the PayPal option. When you do connect your checkout, it is a good idea to run some test orders to make sure you're all set. Like right now, we can see that I apparently have Cash App and Apple Pay connected. So that's cool. I've also seen here that my tax is updating here on the right. So I'm going to get $3.80. And apparently I am offering free shipping. I'm so generous. So going through the checkout is going to allow you to see exactly how this looks to your customers. And I would suggest even placing an order in your shop. Go ahead and create a test product, place an order for it so you can see from start to finish exactly what your customers are going to see when they're placing that order in your shop. And it's also a good way of making sure you are 100% set to accept payments in your shop. Now, both PayPal and Stripe have minimum transaction requirements. PayPal's is 1 cent. That's super easy. But Stripe's is based on the currency you're using. So you will want to price your test product accordingly just to make sure it's enough for Stripe to accept the payment. And Anna is going to drop a link in chat for Stripe's minimum requirements. And it's not huge. It's not like $15 USD or, 32 euros. It's still small, but again, it's based on the currency you're using. So just double check that your test product is priced so that they will accept it. Also, PayPal checkout does not allow sellers to pay themselves. I don't know, probably something with money laundering. So if you try to place an order through your own PayPal, they're going to reject it. They will even reject it if you use a card linked in your PayPal account, or if you use any card that's ever been linked in your PayPal account. They will detect and reject it. So if you're testing PayPal, you'll want to ask your spouse, your partner, your business partner, your friend, or a family member to place an order for your test product using the PayPal checkout. Stripe, you can use any card. It doesn't matter. They'll let you run a test order. So no big deal there. But that's it for me as far as the checkout goes. I know it was a lot of information. I hope it was super helpful. Anna, do you have anything, maybe any remaining questions that didn't get answered before we finished, or anything we need to revisit? It was, again, a lot of information.
There's a lot of really good questions. Please reach out to us to support@bigcartel.com and we will answer all of them. I'll drop the email again, and then we will answer you as prompt as we can. Awesome. No question is silly. Just go ahead and ask away.
Definitely.
We want you to do it.
Exactly. And if you're logged into the admin, just click the speech bubble at the bottom right. Like Anna said, we want you to thrive. We're here to help you make sure that you run your business successfully, and everyone wants to get paid for the awesome stuff they offer to the world in their shop. So definitely reach out if you have any questions. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. As always, it was so much fun, and we will see you again soon. Bye.